last time I was talking about the seated guard, posture and pressure. So how you'll be shrimping around here, how you'll be always grip fighting, how you'll be leaning forward here, and then yeah, about that. So now today I want to talk a little bit about, well, possibilities in seated guard, and more specifically, actually, you know, when he's standing or when he is on his knees, there are actually maybe arm drag that comes in. Yeah, maybe only arm drag that is directly done from seated guard, directly here, or maybe a guillotine. He's leaning too much forward here. Maybe guillotine, but everything else basically happens through other types of guards. You use this seated guard to. Yeah, he's standing. If he's here, I might go for the arm drag, or maybe do some takedowns. But everything else, and most of the time, things from seated guard revolve around going to another type of guard. So you're here, say you're playing with him, and you want to come in, and you want to play your other types of guards, whatever those are. So I'm not going to cover doing takedowns from seated guard right now. That's a possibility. Or the arm drag, I'm not going to cover those. More specifically, I just want to a little bit talk about how do you go to another type of guard from seated guard, which is, as I said, most of the time you'll see people doing stuff like this when they play seated guard. They're seated, and then they just kind of like shoot in and start to play another type of guard. And about that, okay, so let's say he's standing here, and then you have your heel shrimps here, shrimping one way, the other way, fighting, grip fighting. So now when you have your grips, usually this happens really fast, you know. When there's going to be a contact here, maybe like 1 to 2 seconds, you should probably already go into it, because the more you're just sitting around here, and he's immediately going to do, you're going to miss your shot. There's a really little window here. You're playing in the distance, when he comes in, you get the grips and you go in. You got to make it fast. Okay, so when you go in, and it actually doesn't matter what type of guard it is. Say you want to go to a C guard, okay, I'm here, and I shoot into a C guard, or I want to go into a butterfly guard, or I want to go to a Del Riva guard, a champion bomb. Everything will use that kind of a forward shrimp thrust, so to speak. What I mean by this is, when you're here, and you're doing your grip fight, what you want to do is, you want to cover this little distance here between us really fast. Okay? You can't just go like wiggy into him. He'll be doing something. So this is going to be covered really fast. And the way to do this is, well, you got to support your weight somewhere. What I mean by this is, either it's going to be on your arm. Let's say you're here, you're supporting on your arm, and you kind of stay on your one foot and one arm. So now you will use your heel to just blast yourself forward, blast yourself inwards to get that guard, cover that distance really fast. Whatever guard that is. So that's one way. You can support your weight on your arm and your leg, and then just thrust your hips forward and get yourself close. Then you'll have guard, because this is not guard when you do a little and come here, because your legs are too in front. Yeah, he'll be having the advantage of starting to pass. So you want to cover that distance really fast. Okay. So, and the other thing is, it's even better with the gi, because you have you can get some gi grips here. But even in no gi, he will usually just want to get, he will like stiffen up or try to posture up, so you can actually just pull yourself from him. You see, I pull myself, I lift my buttocks off, and then I do that heel thrust again. I lift myself off, and then I blast my hips close to him, and my legs close, to get whatever type of guard I want to go into. So that's something you might want to think about. So when you play here, and you think, oh, I want to play Del Riva guard, okay? So I'm here, I get the point of contact, and I heel swing, butts close, nice and fast. So this is how you cover the distance really fast. And if there's maybe just one arm, you get the arm grip, and then do the shrimp thrust, get yourself close immediately. Okay? So that's what you want to think about when you go from seated guard to your possibilities. Okay? As I said, and even if I do, let's say, I said I was not going to cover them right now. Let's say I want to do an arm drag, which is a direct, I can do directly from seated guard. I get the arm drag, even from here. I use his arm as that same to support my weight, and I do that heel shrimp again, heel shrimp thrust. I come in, and go into my arm drag attack, okay? Or let's say even, basically that's that. Or if I just want to go into a single leg attack here, I kind of start to lean forward a little bit, and then I just pull myself really close to hit fast to cover that distance. So that's one thing I wanted to get across. So when you do possibilities from seated guard, it's usually using that shrimp thrust to cover the distance really fast. Now another thing about this is, well, this is actually concerns every other type of guard. Let's say after you do after you go into it with that shrimp thrust, you gotta have your pressure, your posture and pressure down to that type of guard really good. What I mean is, so you play a little bit C guard, for instance. So I know C guard a little bit. So you play your posture, what it is, how you're on your side, okay, how you'll be covering everything here, how you use that kind of a little like axe motion. I kind of like push this with the like scissor sweep motion a little bit. I push his leg down and the other one into him a little bit there always. I'm keeping him away from this. Sometimes even come as high as the armpit. This is the pressure of the position. So this is posture, and he'll be. So I'm always giving him this little pressure here, to make him always look for balance. Okay, and in every guard there is their own pressure. So sometimes it's sideways, like in this case, I'm always pushing him a little bit there. It's not like I want to sweep him or anything immediately with this, but it's all you can't just lay here like this without any pressure on him, because that way he will have the initiative. He will start to pass. It's always I have my frames here, and I'm developing that. I'm kicking into him a little bit pressure in. This leg pulls in, the bottom leg pulls in, and the upper leg just I keep it in between us and I like push him a little bit. There's always this little pressure here, and that goes for every other type of guard. Let's say I play spider guard, so I'm here. I immediately start to spread my legs a little bit. You see, I kind of like want to press his elbow on the ground with my shin. There's a little pressure here. It's always there. There's always going to pressure. I can't play like this because he'll just crush me. Okay? And the way you develop pressure in every type of guard is either sideways, like I've shown you now. I can, like this leg goes down, the other one. So I developed the pressure sideways. Okay, or in spider guard case, sideways like this, or in the butterfly guard case. I can do it a little bit sideways. I spread my legs a little bit. I'm always spreading a little pressure there. Or I just push him into, push the leg into him. Okay, so the pressure can be developed sideways or upwards or backwards. Okay, so again, when you do backwards pressure, sometimes maybe I'm here. I want to like push him down a little bit. Was pushing him down a little bit with my heel on the hip. I might push him a little bit. I might push him a little bit on this leg. Actually, it's a combination of pressures now. A little bit to the side, a little bit there. Okay, so I'm always using those pressures. And this is really generally speaking. I haven't actually covered those guards yet or what those are. But it's important to know. Going back to my original point was that when you go into a guard from seated guard, that you immediately have to start enabling pressuring him a little bit, pressure at all times, because the moment you just come in here, he'll be coming into you start to pass, and you'll be in a bad spot. And as I said, it can be done sideways, backwards, or upwards. Upwards is like, let's say I'm in my butterfly guard, I get my butts close and I lift him up a little bit, lifting him up, wow. Okay, so. Now, if you shoot into your type of guard, and you gotta know those pressures, what the posture and pressure are in those guards to immediately start applying them. Okay? So this is also what I like to call rocking the base, sort of. Look, for instance, I personally use the upward pressure a lot. So when I go into a guard type, let's say I'm in the river guard, so I cannot let him just hang around here. Okay? I get my butt close, then I can lift him a little bit. See, he's already looking for balance a little bit. This will allow me to start attacking him. Okay? Or same thing in butterfly guard. So I shot into him and I'm a little bit getting my hips close so that I can lift him a little bit. I can get my legs free or start to just maneuver into different kinds of attacks. So you'll be always sort of rocking his base, and it's really important that after you do that shrimp thrust into him, you start to apply that pressure immediately. Okay? So that's just, as I said, this is really generally speaking. In every type of guard, those guards have their posture and the pressure, and it's just when you go in that you've got to do that, the pressure immediately to make him off balance, to make him think about things, so that you will have the control. Okay, and.